remember when I told my mom I was going to college to study acting. My mom was like, Sapna, how could you do this to our family? How could you ruin our good name? To get up on stage like a painted whore! Where did you learn this acting? I don't know, Mom. I did my first national theater tour when I was like 26. When I first got the gig, I was really excited. So I called my mom up first thing. And my mom's really paranoid. She was like, Sapna, how do you know that that theater company is not some sort of front for a prostitution ring? I said, I don't know, Mom. Maybe it was the Shakespeare monologue they had me do at the audition. Of course, they did say to me, Sapna, could you try that monologue again? This time laying on your back with your ankles spread wide apart. And when you say out, damn spot, could you rub your nipple like so? I don't know, Mom. I don't do a lot of theater anymore, but I remember when I was first starting out in Chicago doing theater, I'd go to some crazy auditions. I went to this one theater audition, and they give you this a form that tells you about the play. And the audition form read, this play will be produced in an apartment converted into a 10-seat theater. It then asked the questions, are you allergic to cats? What's your tolerance level to smoking? So I just imagined doing a play to 10 cats, each of whom were smoking cigarettes. I went on this movie audition, and the director says to me, fabulous. We are desperately looking for someone Arab, and we are desperately looking for someone who speaks Arabic, and you're Arab. I said, actually, no, I'm Indian, and I know a little bit of Hindi. Well, fabulous, just speak that language then. And what we need you to do, Kama Sutra, is look into the camera and see the man of your dreams. And say to him, like an innocent little girl, say in that language of yours, say, I've never made love to a man before. So I turned to the camera and said, Tera chuttar kaat ke rakh dungi, which means I'm going to chop off your dick and leave it there. Needless to say, I wasn't cast. So I keep having these nightmares of my mother. She's crawling through my ovaries. She pulls out an egg and screams, Sapna, when are you going to use this? My ex-girlfriend said to me, Sapna, maybe your parents would better understand your sexuality if, say, you were seeing an Indian woman. That's what's been breaking my mother's heart. Sapna, I had dreamed for you to meet a nice Indian girl. We have wedding ceremony, invite all of Indian community. You and your Indian dyke lover wear matching red saris. Walk barefoot around the fire together. You've broken my heart. Oh, your Jesus Christ. Are you listening, Jesus? So my mom said to me the other day, I had this back injury, and my mom said to me the other day, she said, Sapna, you and your girlfriend need to take a break from horseplay. No more horseplay. At least until your back gets better. That's when I realized she was referring to sex as horseplay. Now, I don't like to think of sex as horseplay. Of course, my girlfriend and I do like to have sex standing up, slapping each other with a riding crop, but it's not horseplay. So I was born in India and raised in Indiana. I found myself in a corn, I guess it's funny, but my parents were not confused. They didn't think like it was where all the Indians lived. They just ended up there. So I just went back to Indiana for like 9 months to help out my mom. And Indiana is a strange place, I'm sure as many of you know. So I'm going to tell a little story here. One time when I was at my mom's, these raccoons got trapped under the house. So we had a trapper come to lure the raccoons out. So one day, a baby raccoon was trapped in a cage in the backyard. And the trapper had not been by yet to take the baby raccoon away. Meanwhile, somebody comes over to mow our lawn. And I go to the door to pay him. And he's like, oh, you don't need to pay me. Just give me that baby raccoon. I'm like, I'm not going to give you the baby raccoon. It could give you rabies. He's like, no, I used to have a baby raccoon. I used to keep him on my shoulder and feed him sardines. I felt like I had walked into a Jeff Foxworthy joke. You know you're a redneck when you keep a baby raccoon on your shoulder and you feed it sardines. me the other day. She said, Sapna, you're too big for your britches. I said, Mom, I think I have a pretty level head. She said, who's talking about your head? I'm talking about your ass. It's too big for your britches. I said, Mom, that's a figurative expression. It's like saying when it's raining really hard, it's raining like cats and dogs. Oh, so it would be better for me to say your ass is like that of an elephant's. And then because she's a crazy ethnic mother, 10 minutes later she's like, Sapna, Sapna, you should eat, you never eat. And she has all these ideas about food. Sapna, you know if you eat 10 almonds a day, it will make you smarter. Sapna, you know why you're gay? Because you don't eat enough fruit. I said, I thought it would be the opposite, Mom, because you know you are what you eat. I know what you lesbians eat, and I'm not even going to go there. So like I said, I just moved back to Chicago. I was living in Indianapolis, just came back here. You gotta get used to life in Chicago because Indianapolis is slow. Things here like traffic. For example, I had to go out and buy furniture. So I went out to IKEA. And when you're driving to IKEA, I mean, you see it from the highway like a tower of Swedish delights. But you have no idea which exit to take. And then you get there and you're so taken in by the shopping cart escalators. But then you have to pick up your sofa, and it comes in 42 different boxes that you have to carry on your back out to the hood of your car. And then some kid who works there is like, you could strap it down using this. And he hands you a shoelace. So you drive home the whole way with one hand on the roof. You take out your 42 boxes. The instructions are written in every single language except for English. And they say that you can put IKEA furniture together using one tool and one tool only. And that's the Allen wrench. And I don't know about you, but the last time I put together IKEA furniture, I used an Allen wrench and a drill and a screwdriver and a chainsaw and a blowtorch because I had to go back to IKEA and kill those lying Swedes. But they sure make good lingonberries. Ooh, Svea sounds good. So, another thing that I'm kind of getting back used to in Chicago is taking public transit. Well, I took my whole life in Chicago, but I wrote a little song about riding the bus, and I can't sing very well, so this might be like Ashley's experience with the American Idol singer that she was mentioning. So I'm just gonna hold the mic really far away from my mouth while I sing this song. But anyway, here's my little song. Driver says move to the rear of the bus. People are angry, they start to fuss. Everyone pushed up against each other. Man, I really feel like I'm smothered. Hoping that things will only get better. Somebody farted into my sweater. Please don't fart on a crowded bus. Please don't fart on a crowded bus. What's that you got up your ass? Smells like it's a bunch of rats. Please don't fart on a crowded bus. Please don't fart on a crowded bus. That was inspired by the 151. So another great thing about being back in Chicago at this time of year are the holiday parties. The holiday parties hosted by gay men and the ones that are hosted by lesbians are completely different. So I went to a holiday party hosted by gay men. It was catered. There was a gift exchange. The gifts were from Armani and Calvin Klein. And there was a live pianist. Then I went to the lesbian holiday party. It was a potluck. There was a gift exchange, but all the gifts had a $5 limit. There was a drumming circle. And the conversation at lesbian holiday parties is different than gay male holiday parties. The men are like, did you see what he was wearing? Oh, forget about it. Did you see his ass? I think that lesbians need to spend more time talking about ass and less time aligning our chakras. I think lesbians could really get into a game of strip Scrabble. Strip Scrabble. Yeah, Marcy, I just spelled cat and codependent. That means you strip. It's a double word score. So take off your cardigan and your sweater vest. Because you know she'd be wearing both. And for the gift exchange, she gave me a rain stick. Thanks, Marcy, I'm really getting wet. One time in my life I was working in fast food. People come into fast food restaurants and they expect like 5-star dining treatment. They're like, yeah, can I get extra crispy bacon with my bacon double cheeseburger? Sure, let me just tell the chef, Pierre. He's from the original White Castle. You know, in Paris. Le Chateau Blanc. And let me run down to the cellar and get a supersized cup of Merlot. I don't know if you've heard about this, but Cookie Monster had to change his song. You know Cookie Monster's song? C is for cookie, and cookie is for me. Now has to be C is for cookie, and cookies are sometimes treat. They want Cookie Monster to be a better role model to kids. What about the Grouch? He lives in a frickin' trash can. And Big Bird? Don't tell me that big-ass bird isn't on steroids. Kermit, the skinny body, the bloated stomach, the glazed look in his eyes. Crystal meth. Bert and Ernie, come out of the closet, guys. You don't need the twin beds. We know. Thanks so much, I'm Sapna Kumar. Also, please visit my website, funnyindianlady.com. Thanks.